Okay, is that okay for everybody? Okay, good. Okay. So my name is Tim. I'm a director of the Mindfulness Network of People of Colour, MMPC for short, and my role right now is to introduce the members of the team that we have with us today. William, to my right, William Flay is the founder and the inspiration behind MMPC. It's his dream, his drive, his ambition that has brought us to, at the risk of embarrassing him, that has brought us to where we are today. And under his direction and with financial help from the Emergence Foundation, for which we are very, very grateful, we are now seeing that the MMPC is starting to achieve sort of results that we were hoping and achieving some success. To my far right is Sheila Balgobin. Sheila is a sleep and dream coach and runs a number of events, both online and live, courses, retreats, workshops. And as far as MMPC is concerned, Sheila has a key role for us in that she is managing the first major retreat that we will be holding this year, which is taking place in June in the New Forest. And Sheila will tell you a little bit about that in due course. To my left, we have Coco Bassi, who from the Holistic Centre, who is running the mindfulness race on the agenda events, and you will also hear a little bit about that. And I'm pleased to say that Ollie Taylor here has very recently joined the team, literally in the last few days, I guess. And Ollie is going to be heading up our media. So that's really exciting. So a very warm welcome to Ollie as the newest member of our team. A couple of our colleagues who couldn't be here today, Hamish McLeod, who is, he turned 18 literally a couple of weeks ago. So he's very young. He's our video and photography expert. We recruited him from a local college where he was studying that subject, and he's actually very, very mature for his age, and has already made himself a very useful addition to our team. And we have Juan, who also can't be here today, who is going to be running our online meditation groups and is also heading up our first major LGBT retreat later in the year. So I'll be telling you a little bit later on in this presentation about one of the key aspects of the MMPC, which is our website. In the meantime, can I hand over to William to tell you about the project, where we are and what we're doing. Thanks.
Oh, hello everyone, I'm so happy to be here. Can I please ask, what? No. Is a library, I thought we'd pull up the website actually. Yeah, if we could do that, mmpc.co.uk. Yeah, so I suppose we need to step out of the way. So, do you want to stand here? Okay. So I am so thrilled to be here, and I'm going to invite everyone to stand up and do a very brief exercise on assumptions, difference, and working with unconscious bias. So if we could just stand up, and the first thing I'm going to ask people is to take a really, just a quick look at someone they haven't come in with, and just a glance. Yeah, that's it. And so then we're going to turn to a colleague, and I'm going to give you 3 questions. And this is all about assumptions that we make and how we function and how we interact in society. So, if these are some of the questions. Do you think the person is a member of the LGBT community? Are they abled or disabled? And how that has impacted their lives? What ethnicity or race they might be, or their parents or their grandparents, can you tell this? And some of the other disadvantages you may not see. So are they from a 1-parent household, a 2-parent household? What does that mean exactly? So do you want to just turn to someone and maybe 30 seconds each just to check in? Yeah. Huh? Yeah, different person, yeah. Do you have a bell? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so they're just pulling up a presentation now. And by the way, this morning, as I was coming up the stairway, I was greeted by someone with blue hair and turquoise earrings, a gentleman. So I was really comfortable than having a pink shirt with a poodle dog. I didn't feel I needed to change it. So the idea behind this experiment is seeing the length of time it actually takes us to make an assumption of someone. How quick. But actually, we don't often see the repercussions. We're not able to actually really be aware of the whole trace and the generations or the life cycles of all of these assumptions. We're not able to see the impacts on minority issues. And often, even our own sense of disclosure is really lost in there. Okay, so I'm just going to ground myself. So this morning, I woke up at 4 a.m. as usual at Amravati Monastery. And it's one of the greatest centers in the UK for mindfulness. I don't know if you know it, but this is a place with really the X factor. And it's a place really that is built on generosity and kindness, just like what we're having today. On my way to chores this morning, an elderly Indian woman stopped and she decided to share her life experience. And she said, "My husband has left me after 30 years of an abusive marriage with no money and a severely disabled son." So I was just putting into context models of holistic ways of dealing with mental health and so on. I think what really struck me was her presence, a sense of the peace that she emanated, despite of her situation, her ability to forgive, and her tone and her composure was just incredible. A week ago, in the same place, I met a man from Cambodia, a refugee named Kim. And I have seen him quite a few times, but on this occasion, we got to sit down and have a cup of tea. And he said, 35 members of my family were shot in Cambodia in the 80s, and he was one of the few refugees allowed into the UK. And again, I was like, whoa, how are you, this healthy? He's just dedicating his life really for the service of other people. How do you do this? I think what it shows to me is time and time again, the practice of mindfulness is transformative, it's healing, and there is something about the human spirit that really cannot be broken, that cannot be taken away. So, mindfulness can change the world. Already we have seen the Mindfulness Initiative UK create spaces for politicians, for schools, for hospitals. We want ways to be part of the mindfulness agenda, and this is what the MMPC is doing. I want to invite everyone just to pause and take a minute just to close your eyes and ground yourselves. Just take a deep breath, sensing your toes, and thinking of Kim, thinking of the many stories, the many people that come through the doors, stories that we don't understand, that we don't always connect with. So time and time again across this great nation, people are practicing mindfulness in ways that direct the quality of their lives and their choices. Feel free to open your eyes. Even my cat the other day was giving mindfulness instruction to the other cats next door. So everyone's practicing mindfulness, huh? Did you know, actually, that in Thailand, the Thailand government issues 3 months of paid leave for people to practice mindfulness in a monastery? So hands up, who would like that? Civil servants, every day. So maybe we can petition that next time? You know, so I think that's amazing. I mean, just imagine the repercussions for society in the UK, actually, if with that kind of endorsement, right? So the Mindfulness for Social Justice movement allows people to come together, right? So it allows people to practices of resilience, conflict resolution, and wisdom in a time where we see great division in the world today. I believe that the true spirit of compassion, generosity, and forgiveness and kindness actually make the world go round, not money. In my early days in New York, my high school, School of the Performing Arts in New York, was the pride of the city because we didn't have guns. In New York in the 80s, a parent was never sure if a child would return home from school. But I would never have imagined that London would exceed any level of of crime more than New York did, knife crime in the last few months. I think we would like to leave the new generation with tools of compassion and not combat, right? Yeah, I think mindfulness really should be one of them. Tools of compassion, not combat. I want to hear everyone say it. Tools of compassion, not combat. So at age 16, I found a cassette tape in a junk box. And this is how I discovered practice. And I would often lock myself in my room and afraid of one of my drunken father's rants. That was at age 16. I began my practice. A few months later, after his suicide and after I was thrown out for coming out as gay, I then found myself again grounding myself time and time again in this practice has really pulled me out of the darkest times. We cannot allow mindfulness to be a luxury for the few. We cannot allow this. Mindfulness must be part of the race agenda. So, the MNPC's idea was to put black faces on the mindfulness map. So we have some really great teachers from the US, such as Angel Kyoto Williams, Lamarad Owens, and many others featured on the website. But we really need UK ambassadors. We need them to train, deliver, and feel part of this community. And it's really important also that this is done in conjunction with white supporters. This cannot happen from the bottom up. It has to happen from the top down. And what else can I tell you? I am really happy and just grateful to be part of this whole process, to be able to open the doors to the next generation. So thank you again, the Emergence Foundation, and again, just tools of compassion, not combat. Thank you. Yeah.
You can see on the screen the website that we've created, Mindfulness Network for People of Colour. I'm not going to take you through it. Please have a look when you get home, mapc.co.uk. the website is at the heart of what we do. We are aiming to be a community, we're aiming to be a network, and this is going to be, in a sense, our shop window, our post box, our networking tool. So we have, as you would expect, a whole lot of information there about the MNPC, what we do, what we are, what we want to be, our aims, objectives, and so on. We also include on there sections on mindfulness. We have a whole People of Color digital library, which includes audio and video resources and guided meditations. We, as William said, have a number of very well-respected teachers, both from the UK and internationally, who are going to be helping us with the events. We have, and Sheila will tell you a little bit about this, we have Rhonda McGee from the US, Harvard Law professor, voted the most important woman in mindfulness in 2019, for goodness sake, coming over to headline our retreat later this year, and we're talking to Ruth King, who some of you may know, about coming over the following year. So we're working with some really respected, really good mindfulness teachers who are going to help take the MNPC forward. A key element of this website is our listing of events, which will be, in a sense, again, our shop window of things that are coming up. A year-long program which is going to explore mindfulness and related practices for self-awakening and to impact social change. I'm rushing through this a little bit to try and get us through the time scale. Really important that what we do with this website is get people involved. We are a network, we are a community, and we want to expand on that. So we are encouraging people not just to attend the various events that we have on here, but to become a friend, to subscribe to the newsletter, whole range of ways in which people get involved. And as William said, it's really important to recognize that we are fully inclusive. We welcome everyone, regardless of sexuality, of race, of gender, religion, whatever. So although many of our people involved are ethnic minorities, it's really important that we have people, white supporters, people who are helping to push the MNPC forward. And hopefully some of you today may sign up for our newsletter or even for the retreat later in the year. Since receiving the money from the Emergence Foundation, we've made really significant progress financially. Where Simon will be pleased to hear that we are continuing to be on track. Main expenses have been things like website, marketing, and venue hire. But we're looking now, the project will come to an end as far as Emergence Foundation is concerned. This stage of it will end summer this year. We're looking already at the next steps beyond that. The idea is that potentially we may become a charity. So we're looking at getting people involved now who may help to take us forward to the next level. Thank you.
But there are flyers that will give you more information about the second empowerment retreat that will be taking place in June 26th through the 29th. What the theme of the retreat is racial justice in the context of mindfulness. To step back from yourselves, step back from society, and to have an overview rather than being tunnel visioned. Now, this will be taking place in the New Forest, beautiful venue, and it will be focused on the work of Rhonda McGee, who was mentioned earlier. Now, as well as a few other presenters, including William and a gentleman by the name of Dean Reynolds, who is an ordained Dharma teacher and is a student of, hope I get, Thich Nhat, not Han, Thich Nhat Hanh. And it's for not only for people who are interested in mindfulness as teachers, but mental health practitioners, people interested in social and racial justice. So it covers a broad spectrum, but the one uniting factor is mindfulness, to step back from all of the isms and schisms and to see things more clearly. As I say, there are flyers on the table along with other free material that you can take away. I'd just like to briefly mention the retreat that we did last year, which was a chill-out weekend. And it was again in the New Forest, and we made a group essence there, and I led that led that activity, and it was transformative. It was really life-changing for the people who attended. And it incorporated, again, principles of mindfulness, and incorporated the forest itself. So people were bringing offerings from the sea, because we were near the sea. They were bringing offerings from the forest. And we could not only see visibly in the things that people brought to contribute to that essence, transformation going on. I mean, things opening up, seeds opening up. I mean, it was incredible. But the people themselves reported during the weekend major shifts. And that's what mindfulness is about. It's letting shift actually happen. That's it from me. Thank you very much for listening.